Often the most horrifying part of any sales process is the cold call, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's one of my favorite parts. It is high-speed chess. You can learn so much and get so much mileage and see so many objectives and experience so much in such a short period of time that you can make yourself a very big success very, very quickly. The key to making cold calls work is to make it succeed for you. Number one is you get momentum in everything you do. Don't kind of make a call, stop, think, surf websites, pre-analyze what you've done and then make the next call. In essence, you make a series of consecutive calls in a very short period of time, and that way you get momentum. And then after you make 5 or 8 calls, then you stop. You take a look at what you just done, your successes, your failures, the objections, overcoming those objections, you think again, and then you set up the next series of calls. So prior to making your cold calls, the number one thing that we all most miss is being planned. And that's a whole other segment we can dig into, planning out your day. But you pre-plan, let's say, a consecutive list of calls you're going to make. You make it in one market vertical or one direction at any one moment in time that we can compare them one to another. And just because one call, someone might get upset or hang up in an angry kind of way with you, doesn't mean it's you. Doesn't mean it's your product. Doesn't mean it's anything. You don't know if they're having a bad day. They could be in the middle of a marital argument and you call them at that moment or what have you. They could have just lost their top employee. So just because one person might be negative doesn't mean the whole field is negative. And just because one person is really happy to hear you doesn't mean that the whole industry is going to be really happy to hear you as well. So you take every call as it is, one after another, as they all are unique. But then you're going to quickly uncover quick successes, quick failures, quick objections, quick things to overcome. Then you learn that. And the key now in making a series of cold calls is to be able to map out the entire process. The best place to handle an objection is before it occurs. So you get a feeling of how your past calls succeeded, and then from there, understand what you need to do again, understand where it failed, and then pre-think, okay, how can I change with my tone of voice, my vocal mirroring, my tempo, the meter itself in the call, what my positioning statement is exactly, how can I change things to get the proper result that I'm looking for out of myself. So I'm going to break things down into sub-segments next. Positioning statement. The very first thing that occurs prior to your first call is you vocal mirror, like you know what you're going to present, and then you have pre-set up in your mind what you're going to say. And that is going to be your first impression. That's going to be if you show up in a suit and tie or slacks. If I'm an executive recruiter, I'd say something like, so Bill picks up the phone and says, Bill Matthews. So I'm going to vocal mirror that, Bill Matthews. Hi there, Bill. It's Damian Spaulding. Give me a call. I'm an executive recruiter. I specialize in placing individuals in upper management talent across the world, and I came across yourself while doing what I do best. Bill, I just want to spend a moment and ask you a question if that's okay. Bill will be, I don't have time. Okay, no problem, Bill. When is the best time for you? Tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon? See what I did there? Or he would say, no problem. You do have time. Great, Bill. Would you open to an opportunity if the right opportunity came your way? And Bill would say, sure. But if you notice what I did, I had a predestined kind of language that I spoke. I can do it again. Hi, Bill. My name's Damian Spaulding. I'm an executive recruiter. I specialize in placing management, upper mental, blah, blah, blah. Because it is the same every single time, I will get a same result. I can do the same kind of thing. I can say, hi, Bill. My name is Damian Will Shatner, and I called you because I wanted to talk to you. And if I do that every single time, hi, my name is Will Shatner, I will get standard laughter or result as well. Okay? The positioning statement is that first impression. So by changing your positioning statement and how you make that statement, you will change the end result. Whatever it is, you're going to get a different response from every person, but you have that pre-set up. You run that through 5 or 8 calls. And then after you run that through 5 or 8 calls, you can then assess what the response has been like, then edit that as you desire. You're constantly curtailing that human animal as you go. When you're dealing with a larger sales process where you have a organizational structure, president, vice president, director of operations, and so on and so forth, all the way down to the janitor pushing something out of a closet, you have a tree that you need to navigate your way through. And there's going to be a series of gatekeepers that you got to go through. So the first thing you do, quite frankly, is you break the mindset of the people that you're chatting with. Operator, ring, ring, ring. Operator calls us ABC company. The choice with the matter matters most to you, whatever the tagline is for that corporation. And then you'd be like, hello, can I talk to so-and-so? Yes, one moment, please. That's the mindset that they're in on a regular basis. Minus the AI now that's taking over the world, if you actually get a human being. But the first thing you can do now is you can get the person outside of the normal baseline default position. So-and-so ABC Corporation, where our choice matters to you and you matter to us, Nancy Susan speaking. And if you answer that with, sorry, who am I speaking to? They'd be like, Nancy Susan. And they're out of their normal game. They're out of their normal mindset that allows them to be shaken out of the lull of normality into criticality, because you want someone critically thinking with you. So it's like, okay, Nancy Sue, and I'm going to be vocal mirroring now. Nancy Sue, it's great to meet you, Nancy Sue. And Nancy, I've been looking for, I don't know, name something. So I'm making this up as I go. I'm looking for someone that is part of your director of operations. I need your operations manager. Are they available? No, they're not available right now. Okay, no problem. When is a better time to call? Well, we'll do some role playing in the future. But when's a better time to call? Well, sometime tomorrow. Okay, Nancy, if I called tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, would he be available then? If we would you close? Yes, sure. And guess what? You call, and then the next morning you call and you say, hey, there is Bill Waters, and his name is Bill Waters. Okay. Next morning, ring, ring, ring. Nancy Sue speaking. Nancy, we spoke yesterday. Bill Waters, please. Oh, Bill's not available. Nancy, you told me, remember holding to that committing question before, you told me that Bill will be available this morning at this time. Is he not? When's the best time to get a hold of him? Oh, he's just in a meeting for next 30 seconds. Okay, I'll wait on hold. You're pushing through to get to what you need to get, but you first did so by breaking the mindset of the receptionist that sits behind the scenes, and also you're remaining in control of the entire exchange. You're remaining in control of the conversation. You're giving the if we would you closes, you're giving alternative closes, you're asserting yourself. If there's an objection that's coming up that you do not know how to overcome and you see it coming, often you can bowl over that with another option or another positioning statement or something of that caliber. Because the whole end product that what you're looking for is getting to the decision maker. I'm with Che Realty, LePage Re, whatever it is. And I am looking at your house right now. I'm parked outside and I absolutely love your foyer. And one of my individuals that I've been representing loves houses like yours. Would you entertain the selling your house for the right offer? If we would you close? The person would be like, no, that's up to my husband and he's not home and he's in the military and he's not going to be home for another 6 months. I got it. Okay, that's great. You agree with the objection, because when you get an objection, the first thing you do is you agree. Yes, I totally get that, man. That must be tough. And of course, you can build a relationship and compliment them. I can't imagine how hard that is. You can invest 10 seconds in a cold call to do this. What is it like? Like, what kind of role does he do in the military? How do you make it through? I have the greatest respect for the sacrifices you make. Oh man, it's really hard. I got 2 kids. One's hanging off my arm right now and I just can't take this call. Totally get it. Okay, so can I reserve a call you maybe tomorrow sometime? Yeah, sure. We'll talk more about this because whatever. Good. Then you call back the next day because you want to get to the decision maker, right? Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Amy, we're chatting yesterday. I'm the realtor that was really loving the courage that you show in being able to be a single mother while your husband's gone for so many months. I wanted to really spend a time. When is your husband going to be back again? So we all can meet together because I might have something of advantage to you. And then you get all the decision makers together. Then you set the presentation because you want that to be your pre-qualification and you're good. There are times when you're going to be dealing with some complicated processes. For example, at executive search, where I need to find the president of the largest corporation in the world that's been stonewalled behind 36 gatekeepers. Like, try to find me in my corporation. It's sometimes very hard to find because I got a lot of people doing a lot of moving parts and I can't field the calls of everyone that tries to get a hold of me. But there are people that still need to do that. So I'll tell you how to break through to find me and anyone else you might ever like. And it takes knowing that it can't be done in one call. And as you know, in life and in business and everything is built by relationship. So I call up, let's say ABC Corporation, and you get the main gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper says, ABC Corporation says, hi, I'm Damian Spaulding. Who am I speaking to? And it's Richard Bean. Hi, Richard. What a cool last name you have, Richard. Any relationship to Mr. Bean? It's like, no, but get that all the time. Okay, sorry about that, man. Anyway, I'd like to chat with your vice president of operations. Is that possible? He's not available right now. Okay, no problem. Who is that? His name again is, assumptive close. His name again is Nathan Waters. Okay, thank you so much, Jason. When is Nathan available? Or Billy Bean, whatever his name. When is Nathan available? And Nathan will be available tomorrow or later on this evening. He's just in a board meeting, no problem. So if I call later on this today about 3:30, yeah, that's fine. Okay, ring, ring, ring. Up at 3:30. Okay, so Nathan Waters, I think it was. Nathan Waters, please. Nathan picks up the phone. Nathan Waters, Director of Operations. Hi there, Nathan. It's Damian Spaulding giving you a call. I'm working with an organization that blah, 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 or I'd like to do. But before getting into this, because I really want to get to the president, could you tell me who's the VP of operations with the organization? I'd love to chat with you, but the thing that I'm dealing with might have to do with something at a more senior level. Oh, what is it you'd like to get to know? VP of operations. Well, I have a just-in-time supply organization that we're impacting the bottom line of organizations based upon their operation efficiencies. And I know I'd love to talk to you about this, but at the same time, I would love to chat with the vice president at that higher level. Well, you can't just call it. Susan does not just accept random calls. Okay, so I know that he's the first gatekeeper I got to close, so I will then close him. But I now know the vice president's name is Susan. So even if that door is closed, I can then call up the next day or 2 days later. Ring, ring, ring. And the first receptionist is going to call in. Hey there, I was just talking with Nathan yesterday, and Nathan was telling me about Susan, the vice president. Is Susan available by chance? Yeah, no problem at all. And Susan picks up the phone. Hey there, my name is Susan. So they call me Susie Q. Hey, Susie Q, that's really, because she was cute. So, hey, that's a really cute name, cute way of going about. How long are people calling you Susie Q? Who is this? Oh, it's Damian Spaulding. Sorry, I work with an organization, but blah, blah, blah. I was talking to Nathan the other day. And Nathan was telling me that you're the person that's the key decision maker over blah, blah, blah. He's a good gatekeeper, by the way. He did a very good job of blah, 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 blah. But what I'd like to do is talk to you about when is a good time? We can either do this now or later on today, or when's a good time for you? It's just to spend, 15 minutes. Well, I don't know if I want to spend 15 minutes on the phone with you. Good. That's my first objection. Okay. That's no problem at all. Now, what would qualify this call? Something that would be worth your time. Well, I got to make sure that it can save me time today because I don't have time for calls like yours. Well, that's no problem, Susan, because this is the kind of thing that we do. We're a just-in-time process eliminator of things, and we actually will save your workflow in very big ways. We've done it for 19 other companies this quarter. I'm sure you're going to want to see what I'm going to share with you. When is a good time? Either tomorrow or the day after. Tomorrow morning or Thursday afternoon. See what I just did there? We went straight to the assumptive close, went straight through to the alternative close, and then from there, boom. Now, Susan, I'm maintaining control of the conversation. Susan's like, well, I'm not the decision maker on that stuff anyway. That's actually done by our maintenance manager and our president of operations. I'm just the vice president. It's like, okay. No problem, Susan. Who is your maintenance manager and the president, please? Well, the president is Jonathan, and the maintenance manager is Bill. Okay, no problem. Susan, would you be able to set up a meeting with those two? Would we be able to do that? No, I don't have that authority. That's done by Jonathan's EA. No problem. And his EA's name is Jack. Okay, so thank you so much, Susan. I'm going to call Jack. Feel free to let him know I'm going to be calling them sometime next day or two. I'm really busy. I'll try my best to add it to my calendar to get it done. And true to form, because my time is worth money and their time is worth money. I'm going to call a day or two or later that hour whenever I feel like. Guess what? So I talked with this secretary, I talked to Jonathan, I talked to Susan, and I'm talking to Bill. And now it looks like I'm old friends with this organization. I know their organizational structure. And I can now break into the levels which I want to break into to get to what I need to get to, because I'm just recycling that cold call, vocal mirroring, making those relationships and connections, being memorable as best I can, and being not memorable when I don't want to be memorable. Other cool adages that you always hear trainers say, like, Always smile on the phone, because you can hear a smile when on the phone, and that's important, absolutely. And often you can laugh, of course, because as you know, laughter breaks all tensions. And the last thing, though, I also say is I also let the other party hang up first, because you want to give them the ability to give you an objection, and you want to have them feel that sense of empowerment. But to make cold calls work for you is all a matter of pre-qualifying it, getting momentum, one thing after another, one thing after another. And when you get a rejection, someone hangs up, says, "I hate you, you smell like eggs," slam. First thing you do before you internalize any of that venom is you quickly say, "What's my next one on my list?" Which is why you have a list of 15 to 30 calls. And you quickly pick up the phone before you even emotionally process it. Pick up the phone, start making the next call, start dialing. And while it's ringing, you're now thinking of what went on that last call, what's going on your next call, how are you going to manage these two to come together, and then you gain momentum. And you get right into, of course, your pre-canned thing of, "Hi, my name is Damian Spaulding. I'm a automotive sales representative for Magna Corp of Canada, America Division Inc. And I'm on the phone with you simply because I know you want us to be your parts supplier. I need to talk to your parts supplier person right now." And now you're already into the next call, and you finish your cold called series with a success. And you do not stop calling until you either find a success or you finish 10 or 15 calls and you've seen a common thread. And once you see a common thread, you stop, you analyze that common thread, you figure out how you can change your approach to get that thread to work as you'd like. Then you set up your another 15, 20 calls and you go again. And you're going to get adrenaline and it's going to feel amazing. And then at the end of that series of calls, when you have your win that you've been looking for, then you party hard, you leave. I used to be an executive recruiter, as you know. And I used to have a goal. By the end of this morning or the end of today, I'm going to be able to find X person for so-and-so job. And I will go through a list of 100 people to do it. And there are times that I would get through the 15th call and I'd find that person. I'm like, celebrate. And now I can say, okay, I can take what I had on my planner for the next day and put it on today and go for a bonus round. Or I can say, I made my day's objective by 10:30 in the morning. I'm going to go, and a friend of mine used to own a piano in Oregon Center. I'm going to play grand piano for a couple hours and come back because I've earned it. I've made my goals for that day. So last thing, you set your goals in advance to making your cold calls. Preset what your calls are going to be. Call until you either succeed, you get over your rejections with further successes, and then you hit your milestones through the day. You break the person's mindset. That way they're playing on your terms, not in theirs. And that is one way you remain control. And as you get to the key decision maker, you will be able to make all those connections, set whatever you need, or never forgetting the fact that you have your position statement at the very beginning. And finally, let them hang up first and you've won. You do that over and over and over again. And you're going to find this is one of the most gratifying, exhilarating things you'll ever do. And then that turns now into the next warm calls the next day. And then from there, the rest of the sales process is you make relationship first and everything else second. There's something that's called the Columbo approach too. When you see an old lady trying to cross the street and she's tripping over a rock with her walker and you're driving a car, don't you have an instinct to want to help her? You think, okay, can I hold the traffic up behind me to help this lady? Because everyone needs to wait. At least if you're a normal, rational human being, you'll be, ha ha. Well, with that, then, knowing that we naturally want to help people, you can actually do the Columbo approach. Now, I'm dating myself, but go back to watch the show Columbo, and it's a detective that's always going like this, and he doesn't really know what he's doing, and and his shirt's buttoned all weird, and his pants partly unplugged, tucked and stuff, and people and he'd ask questions, and the person would want to help, and because they'd want to help, they'd actually become their own folly. So another cold call approach that's not that executive high-powered stuff is actually be the Columbo. Ring, 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 ABC company. Sorry, who am I talking to? This is Nancy. Hi, Nancy. I was looking. I was looking for and you get the idea. And Nancy's like, okay, this is really awkward. I want to get off the phone. How fast can I get off the phone with this person? How can I help them get over whatever that mental issue is that they're experiencing? And it's like, I was looking for someone who could help me with the maintenance of my car. Oh, you're looking for the automotive car repair guy? Yeah, I guess so. And you can actually stumble your way through a call as well. You don't always have to be the all that. Be genuine to yourself. If you're new on the job, be new on the job. If you're an elitist, be an elitist. One of the hardest closes I have to do is when I have to show up to a presentation that I am the trainer for and I have a new person behind me. Because then all those new cards and those friendly cards can no longer be played because I'm supposed to be the authority, when sometimes the best way to make the relationship is to be the beta and not the alpha. Be you, you're going to win it every single time. And once again, make a relationship and make memories when you want to make them and disappear when you don't to get to the structure that you need. And it's never done in one call in one day. You got the rest of your life to win whatever you'd like. And that's how I made my living as an executive recruiter for many years. That's how I made my living as a radio airtime. It doesn't matter what it is. You can find who you need to get to when you manage your cold call well.